What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another brand new Major Ben gaming video. Yes, I've just had a shower, that's why my hair is wet. But let's get into this video. So one of the last videos of this year now. We're kind of getting towards the end of the year. It's pretty crazy, to be honest. Been a great year. My hair is so annoying when I need a haircut so bad. But yeah, we've had a great year this year. Channel's really grown. I'm really hyped about all that. And I can't wait to see what next year brings. But I really hope I'm not going to be making this exact video next year because, to be honest, I'm getting frustrated with the Nintendo Switch. So I want to talk about Switch hardware, Switch 2, Switch Pro, whatever. I just want to vent and talk because I feel like I haven't talked about this in a little while, and it's been something that's become more and more difficult, it seems, for developers to make games for. That's my cat. But welcome back to the Major Ben Gaming channel. There's a giveaway down in the description below. If you want to enter that, there's a load of ways you can enter. Just follow the link in the description. Various different ways. It's free. All entries are free. You don't have to pay a single thing, and you can win yourself a £5 gift card. That's something in the new year I'm going to be doing every single week on a Friday. This Friday's video coming will be the video where we announce the winner. So Switch, anyway. So Switch has been... in my opinion, it's been good this year, but it's also been a bit of a disappointment. The hardware is way too out of date. It's been out of date since it launched. It was 2 years out of date, the TechGrex one in 2017, when it actually went into the Switch. So it was already out of date back then. But now it's just getting ridiculous. And I've seen a lot of people make this video recently, which is actually what gave me the idea to do it, is kind of visit the Switch and talk about it. Is that I've seen a lot of people's videos, Spawnwave, etc., people like that who've been talking about the Switch hardware, saying, you know, when are we going to get this? When is this actually coming? Because we've obviously had rumors. I mean, since the Switch launched, there was rumors about a Switch Pro or a Switch 2, like since 2017. And a lot of the comments in his video were kind of going at him saying, you know, why do you want a Switch 2? Games are great. We've had great games this year on the exclusives and stuff. But what those guys aren't thinking about is, yeah, okay, those guys might love the Nintendo exclusives. I do. I love Nintendo exclusives. But what they're not thinking about is the fact that the main reason the Switch has done so excessively well compared to so many other Nintendo platforms in the past is the third-party support. Games like at launch, we saw Skyrim was coming. We've also had big games like The Witcher somehow crammed onto it. Doom Eternal. Yeah, it was down to 30 FPS on Doom Eternal, but it was very playable. A great experience, a great port. Those guys are fantastic developers. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, those aren't coming anymore. We're not getting any new third-party games on the Switch, apart from Hogwarts Legacy, which isn't launching until June after it releases in February for every single other platform. Like, it's really frustrating. And then beyond that, there's literally nothing. There's no big AAA games that are going to be coming to the Switch. I've actually got a video Friday, which is the video where you'll announce the winner for my giveaway. On Friday, there's a video of my most excited games for next year. Apart from Hogwarts Legacy, every other third-party title, none of those are coming to Switch. Yes, there's some great, obviously, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be a fantastic game. I'm going to be playing it. I can't wait to play that game. But would it not be nice to have the exclusives along with some third-party titles? Yes, they have downgrades coming to the system, but they still should be coming to the system. It's still a good option. We all expect it to be like downgraded from PlayStation 5 and Series X, obviously. Like, we obviously expect it to be downgraded from that. But the sacrifice is being able to take those games on the go and know the streaming version of that stuff that Nintendo does is not an excuse for that. It's unexcusable. You cannot go out with no Wi-Fi on handheld mode and play that on the bus, like without major lag and connecting to your smartphone. It's just stupid. It's not a reason to say Elden Ring's coming streaming to the Switch. It's just stupid. No, I'm not buying that. I want to play it natively on a handheld device. And before everyone comments and goes, oh, that's not possible, it can't be done, Steam Deck, Iron Neo, those devices out there exist, and those are devices that developers aren't even, well, Steam Deck a little bit, but developers aren't actually specifically designing the game to run on those. Whereas like Witcher 3 on Switch, for example, that's been very heavily optimized. If there was a Steam Deck-like device that had Switch hardware, terrible, Switch hardware in it, it wouldn't run as well if the developers hadn't have done the optimization that they've done. So having even half the spec of a Steam Deck now would probably enable games like Elden Ring to run a similar way to how they do on the Steam Deck. And I want to see that. I want to see games like Elden Ring coming to the Switch. We know it's possible. The Steam Deck's done it without any specific optimization. You can run Cyberpunk. You can run AAA latest titles on that game. But what the concern is even more is even the Steam Deck is very patchy and very not great at running Unreal Engine 5 games. That's what the new platforms are using. Jedi Fallen Survivor, the second Jedi Fallen Order, the sequel, that's going to be launching in March, and that's an Unreal Engine 5 game that's running on PS5 and Series X. I don't even think the Steam Deck will be able to handle that, let alone the Switch. And from my point of view, this just adds disappointment. I love the Switch. The Switch really got me into playing games on that device instead of my home console, because when I was leaving the house in those times, my life's slightly different now with where I work, but where I was doing a lot of traveling in those times, I was able to take those games on the go, but I really can't do that anymore, and it's really disappointing because no AAA games are coming to the Switch now. So a hardware revision, in my opinion, is so desperately needed. Like, I just don't think there's even a question in it now, and I think Switch 2 is the way to aim. I don't even think Switch Pro, because in my opinion, I know a lot of people won't like me for this, but I think the Switch needs to be entirely scrapped. Not the whole thing, obviously. Keep the design and the way it works, but do not develop games for the Switch 2 or Switch Pro and the original Switch, because those games won't run. Or if you are going to keep the original Switch working, make sure that you don't not do partnerships with companies like EA to bring the next Jedi Survivor game to the Switch 2, because it's being held back by the previous Switch. Let them develop like you did with the new Nintendo 3DS. They need to have that if they are doing a Switch 2. But if not, then forget the Switch 1 and just move on to the next generation. Like 2017, man. Like we're going to be 6 years in April into the cycle of this Switch with outdated hardware that when it launched 2 years in. Like, man, we just need a new system. And that's not me being anti-consumer or whatever, or it wouldn't be Nintendo being anti-consumer. Like, so many people are asking for a new Switch. So many people have been switching to the Steam Deck and other devices so they can carry on taking big AAA games on the go. They've even got those, as additional systems, but that is, again, what the Switch did so well, is had third-party support, AAA third-party support as well. There's so many games at launch that you could take on the go that were big open-world games like Skyrim and Witcher. You know, those games are great. It's perfect design for that. And you could even cross-save with your PS5 and Series X. That needs to be a feature that comes across many more games, because the Steam Deck and PC ecosystem has that feature down so well. You can stop playing on PC, play it on Steam Deck, save carries over via the cloud service. Needs to happen between console and Switch and I know you've got the dockable system, but some people when they're at home don't want to play it docked because you've got a PS5 and you can play it at 4K. Like, obviously it's just not going to run games like that, and that's not what I'm expecting. But at the same time, I think a more powerful Switch is just needed. What do you guys think? Do you think the Switch hardware's fine? Are you happy with the games you're getting? Even first-party games, though, what you got to remember, even first-party games are not running very well. Pokemon, I would say, is an outlier. That was just badly developed. There's been plenty of good-looking games like Monster Hunter. There's been various different titles, but Bayonetta, a company who makes that game, that is a developer, that make that game, are fantastic devs, and they could not get that game to run. Obviously, it's a 60 FPS, or meant to be a 60 FPS game. That thing was dropping below 30 in so many different instances, and that's just something that needs to be changed. Nintendo's own first-party games are launching in that kind of a state. Third-party developers aren't even going to think twice about bringing their game to Switch if that's the performance that first-party devs are going to get. You want it to be as easy as possible for third-party devs to go, okay, I'm going to bring my game to the Switch. It's easy to do. It's not that much development. I can downgrade graphics. I can downgrade resolution, lower the frame rate to 30 FPS. Boom. But that's not even possible. Like, what a lot of you don't understand sometimes, a lot of you do, but some of you don't understand who just criticize me and say, oh, they could easily downscale graphics from PS5 games. No, it's not just that. There's the amount of calculations that the CPU needs to do in those games. The worlds are getting bigger, the details bigger. You can't scale back everything to run on potato hardware. You just can't. You think people are even complaining about the Series S being an issue. The Switch isn't even 100th of the power of the Series S. Like, it's ridiculous. It's mad. Like, that's obviously an exaggeration, but it's ridiculous how much more the Series S is more powerful than the Switch, and people are even saying that they shouldn't even be releasing games there. So that's it. I want to hear what you guys think about it down below. I'm really curious to hear what your opinions are. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in future videos. Bye-bye for now.